Hey guys, we are here at the Mission Viejo, what do you call this, a kickoff event for a Geotour, and today we are speaking with
Mark, and I'm also Parks Make Life Better is my username.
All right, Parks makes life better, and Mark, that is a mouthful. Well, today we are here for a grand kickoff, and we had some questions for Mark because he is the primary organizer for this Geotour. And so, yeah, I just had a couple questions for you. One of them is, what's your role, and what's the role of some of the other people that are participating in organizing this?
Certainly. So my role is with the City of Mission Viejo. I work for the City of Mission Viejo in the Parks and Recreation Department, and what better way to get people out into the community and exploring our parks and our trails and things than with geocache, right? So I came up with the idea to do something like this in Mission Viejo because I was looking at the map and I realized there wasn't anything down here in Southern California, so I wanted to create a Geotour here, and I quickly discovered that I was unable to do it by myself. So I reached out to some of my favorite cachers in the community, and they all said yes. So we have a handful of local geocachers that have partnered with the City of Mission Viejo to put this Geotour together and launching this morning.
Fantastic. So you've been a geocacher for a little while, and you realize, hey, this is a great way to bring people to your wonderful city, right? How long have you been geocaching?
Ooh, I've been geocaching probably about 7 years now, and I just love it because it takes you to so many unique places, and I think Mission Viejo is a very unique place, and I hope the Geotour helps people discover it and find some of the really cool things that we have to offer here in this community.
Well, that's one of the questions I had. I often pass by and sometimes stop here in Mission Viejo. What are some of the highlights and things that people can find here at Mission Viejo, other than, of course, this wonderful Geotour that you're putting together?
Well, some things that we wanted to highlight on the tour to bring awareness to, of course, we've got a community college, we've got Saddleback College, we have an amazing Oso Creek Trail that gets a lot of attention through walking, riding your bike, jogging, etc., walking your dog. In fact, we're trying to enhance that. We've got a big effort to promote connectivity within Mission Viejo, and that trail runs through pretty much the center of town and gets you to a lot of different facilities, whether it's the bowling alley, the community center, our cultural arts center. We have a golf course that's connected to the trail, and it just keeps expanding. And then, of course, we have Lake Mission Viejo, which is a favorite here in Mission Viejo for our residents and guests that come and join them. But those are kind of the initial Geotour will highlight those kind of components.
Okay. And for people from way out of town, Mission Viejo is coastal, and so typically, except for a day like today on our June gloom, you've got wonderful weather, beaches, and things like that as well. Yeah,
we're very close. I always used to say that we're about 20 minutes south of Disneyland. So if you're coming to Disneyland, that's without traffic, mind you. But
right.
Without traffic, we're about 20 minutes south of Disneyland. We're about 15 minutes from the ocean. We're 4 hours to Vegas. I mean, we're right in the middle of everything you want to be. We're right in between LA, Los Angeles, and San Diego. We're equidistant from both.
Right.
So it's a great place to stop while you're traveling and check out some of these caches, get something to eat, and geocache, of course.
Geocache, of course. Now, so for people who are unfamiliar with the process of a Geotour, what is the process like? Because you came up with the idea. Did you have to contact Geocaching HQ and kind of work with the local city as well? So how did that go?
Well, I came up with the idea of doing this probably about 3 or 4 years ago, before the pandemic, and I reached out to headquarters and I said, what do I need to do? I met them at a conference, a Parks and Recreation conference, and they had a booth there, and I was talking to them. I go, I really want to do something like this, and it just took a while for it to marinate a little bit and try to figure out, okay, how are we going to do this? You've of course got to pay for it because there's resources that the HQ puts on for you. You know, they add it to the app. It's not just the individual geocaches, right? So now they build a whole site around the tour itself.
Oh, okay.
So that's how we got started, is we just needed to figure out what they needed from us and what they needed, what I needed from them.
Okay.
And then it stalled for a little while, and I was like, I can't do that, And then this past year, I thought about it again and said, I kept looking at the map going, why aren't there any Geotours in Southern California? It was driving me crazy. I think the closest ones are Lompoc and Mesa, Arizona. And like, I don't want to drive there. Why not do one here, right?
Yeah.
So with that in mind, and trying to attract people to Mission Viejo, I go, let's do it. This is the year to do it. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I reached out to some of our local cachers in the community and asked them to get involved, and they all said yes, which is great. And I think you'll see our different styles of caching. As you go through the tour, you'll see different ways that we do our caches, and I think it'll be a very unique experience. And one thing that I asked them at our very first meeting was, listen, I want a Geotour where people run out of favorites to give out. I want every cache on this tour to be worthy of a favorite. I don't want like pole hides. I don't want sign, you know, just a magnet on the back of a stop sign or something like that. I want them to be unique and interesting. And they all said, let's do it. And to my surprise, they came through with their promise, and they've created some really unique caches on this trail. And some are going to be hard.
Okay.
There's no, it's just going to be hard.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun. When you find it, very rewarding.
All right. And without giving anything away, are there certain caches that, you know, gadget caches or any unique ones, maybe a couple that you can mention?
Certainly. There's going to be one at one of the city's tennis centers that is going to, boggle the mind. So you're going to be looking at it and go, oh, I know where it is. Nope, decoy. Yeah. Nope, decoy, but you got to keep looking for it.
Okay.
Then there's another cache on the Oso Creek Trail where you have to make the connection.
Okay.
So in order to figure it out, it's a really cool gadget cache. You have to tie things together and figure out how to essentially get the code to enter in to do it. So it's going to be a fun geocache there. Oh. And then there's all kinds of, there's various. That's one thing that came out of our initial planning meeting was we wanted to provide a tour that gave you the opportunity to find multis, regular, gadget, mystery, earth caches, event caches. So today when people go out caching, they're going to hit all those types of caches today. And I think it's going to be fun, a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Now, from what I understand, there's a Geocoin that's associated with here, so people are able to earn a Geocoin. Can you tell me what that process was? Well, why don't we start off with the Geocoin? Can you describe it, and maybe we can put it on our show notes, what the image looks like?
Certainly. So the Geocoin is really focusing on the Oso Creek Trail. That was the place we wanted people to come and find the most. And then, of course, the tour expanded as we started doing it. Like, oh, we need to do this, we need to do this. And, it's moved off the trail. But the main focus is the Oso Creek Trail. So on the coin, it's a diamond-shaped coin. You'll see a parent and a child. They're walking on the trail. You'll see the creek. You'll see all the greenery that encompasses the trail. And it's just kind of a nice picture of if you were out geocaching on the trail, that's what it looks like. So that's what it's tying in. You'll see a couple of things on there that are unique to our trail. It says Oso Creek Trail, of course, and then there's a pillar with a bear print on it. Oso. So that's kind of our mascot for the city, and we tie that into a lot of things through the city of Mission Viejo. So that's kind of a flavor of what the coin looks like, but if you really want to see it, you just got to come do the Geotour.
Got to come do the Geotour. Now, how would somebody, what do they need to do to earn the coin?
Excellent question. So to get the Geotour coin, Discover Mission Viejo coin, you need to go through and get at least 24 of the 27 geocaches.
Okay.
Correct. Each one has a code word in it. And so when you go to the geocache, you look inside, you find the code word, and you write it on your passport. You turn it in at the Norman P. Murray Community Center, and there, if they go through it and they recognize that you have at least 24 of the 27 caches found correctly, then they'll give you your geocoin.
Fantastic. Well, you know, something like this takes a lot of organization. For somebody who might be interested in putting together their own Geotour, do you have any tips on like where to start and kind of things to look out for?
Headquarters has been amazing with helping us put this on. They give us tips, they tell us where to get the coins, they tell you how to number them, they tell you things that you should and shouldn't do. So they've been an excellent resource, and they're very friendly, and of course they want more Geotours, right? So they want to make sure that it's a quality product. So start with them. They'll give you all the information you want. Then, of course, if you want to do an actual tour, reach out in your community. That was something I learned very quickly, that I was overwhelmed by how many geocaches we needed to make a solid tour. Now, it can be from 5 caches to 150 caches.
Okay.
But our goal was to get people to come to Mission Viejo and stay here. So we started with 27, and it may expand. We may do another set in a year or so if our fellow geocachers in the community want to do it. But that's kind of how it started. Get a good group of volunteers that are going to maintain and watch those caches, and people that are excited about it.
Yeah.
That really helps.
Okay, fantastic. Well, Sandy and I are looking forward to going out and doing some of these caches. I don't think we'll be able to get them all today. We've got some other commitments, but we're definitely going to come back, and I think that's one of your goals, is to bring people back. So looking forward to it, and thank you so much for both organizing this and taking the time to chat with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming out today, and have fun out there on the trail.